Okay, so this is kind of a funny question because we don't really look at domain and range with just a set of points, but I'll provide you with just an idea of what this means. Domain is just how far to the left or right a graph may grow, or a set of points. I said grow, I meant go. So we have one point is -4, 8, another point is 8, 10, we got 5, 4, 1, 6, and 5, -9. So notice just from left to right. Okay, left to right. How far does this go? Well, we can see that the furthest left point is -4. And our furthest point right is, what was that? Just look for the greatest number for your x value. Looks like that. And these should actually be bar parentheses. Okay, so that would be our domain of those relations. Okay, so state the range for this set now. So it's the same idea, and if you noticed with this first question when we're looking at domain, that was for your x values, how far left and right. Now for range, you're looking up and down, which means you're looking at your y values. So looking at these y values, which is your smallest y value? Looks like 0 is your smallest value, so we'll start with 0. And what's our greatest value? 4, 5, 8, 10. Here we go. So if you plotted these points, the furthest up it would go would be 10, and the furthest down it would go would be 0. So that's all that's asking there. Let's erase this real quick and look at these questions. So the function given is f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 4, and it's asking us to find f of 3. That just means we're plugging in 3 for x. So f of 3 is equal to 2 times 3 squared plus 4. This is essentially like the first page of your final review. You see you just plug in the values. Instead we're plugging in just x to be 3. Well, when we first square this, we get 9. Of course, this is still being multiplied by 2, and then we're adding 4. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 4, and we get 22. So f of 3 equals 22. This is a very important question. These are very important, so make sure you understand what it's asking, and you know how to find what you're looking for. This says the function is 2x squared minus 30. Find f of 4. If we're trying to find f of 4, we just need to plug in 4 for x. So f of 4 is equal to 2 times x, which in this case is 4, squared minus 30. 4 squared is 16. 2 times 16 is 32. We're still subtracting 30, so we get 2. F of 4 equals 2. Alright. So just like to give you a quick idea graphically of what's going on here. Let's make that actually black. If you had this function, which is 2x squared minus 30, and you don't quite know what that looks like yet because you haven't gotten to it, but essentially you have a parabola that looks like this. Oh shoot, not inked to shape. And what you're seeing is what's your y value when you plug in 4 for x. So when you actually go to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you see that your y value is positive 2, because the point 4, 2 is the solution for that function. When you plug in 4, boom, you get 2 as your output. Alright, let's look. We have if h of x is equal to negative 3x minus 10 and g of x is equal to 4x minus 5, find h of g of 2. So what we can do is, first we'll plug in 2 for x in our function g of x. And then we can plug whatever we get into our h function for x. So we get 8 minus 5, which is 3. Okay, so g of 2 equals 3. Now we can say h of g of 2 is the same as h of 3, since that's what g of 2 equals, 3. Now we just plug in h of 3 is equal to negative 3 times x, in this case it's 3, minus 10, and we get negative 9 minus 10, which is negative 19. Oh. Okay, that's all we're doing there. Given the function f of x is equal to 2 times x plus 4, find x if f of x equals 20. So instead of plugging in a value for x, what we're doing with this question is letting f of x equal 20. So instead of writing f of something, we just write 20. Make a different color. 20, 2x plus 4. So that's what this is saying. Find the x value if f of x equals 20. So you have this. Now if you wanted to, you could distribute the 2 to the x and the 4 and then solve from there, but since x is being distributed to these two terms, the whole thing is being multiplied by 2. So I'm going to do the inverse operation of multiplying by 2, which is dividing by 2. This will make my life easier because 20 divided by 2 is 10. And this, on the right-hand side, is simplified as such. So 10 is equal to x plus 4. If we subtract 4 from both sides, we get x is equal to 6. What that means is if you plug in x equals 6 for our original function, you would get 20 as an output. For example, f of 6 should be 20. Let's see. 2 times x plus 4. If we plug in 6 for x, we get this. 6 plus 4 is 10. Would you look at that? You get 20. So that's the idea behind this particular function here, this question. Let's get rid of this. Given the function f of x is equal to 2 times quantity x plus 8, find x if f of x equals 12. So you pause the video, try it out yourself, see what you get. Subtract 8 from both sides. And we end up with negative 2 is equal to x. if you want to write it like this, it's the same thing. However you want to write it. Alright, we'll end right there on page 7 at the bottom here.